Hey friends, thank you so much for joining me today. As I told you, as you can probably see in the title, I took advantage of a pretty good deal from Powell's Books, which is a local independent bookstore to me. They're actually technically apparently the largest new and used bookstore in the world, and I live in like a couple blocks from them, and I absolutely love them. I'm so glad that I mean, maybe my wallet doesn't agree, but I really enjoy that I get to live by them. So, anyways, they had a really good sale this weekend. I wanted a couple new books, and I ended up reaching out for some recommendations, like I usually do, and I ended up with a whole stack of books. I'm going to try to pull them up right here. Let's hope I don't drop them. Okay, so I got a bunch. So, let's go ahead and go through them. One of the first ones was a recommendation from my co-host. I co-host on Longbox Paradox on Comic Chop News, and my co-host Dan actually recommended this to me, Hench Girl by Kristen Gudznick. And the premise is like a wacky, I don't know, Scott Pilgrim-ish. I don't know about that. It didn't really seem Scott Pilgrim-ish, but it looked pretty cool. I got a really good deal on it. I pretty much only buy used books when I go on there, and they were doing like 25% off store-wide, so I figured, what the hell. Dan is pretty on par or whatever on his book recommendations. Normally, anything that he recommends, I really enjoy. So, Hench Girl by Kristen Nudzik. I believe I pronounced that right. Gudznick. Apologize. So I'm going to go ahead and read that one. So thank you, Dan, for that. And one that I also got, and I'll actually pull up both of these. So I was talking with someone recently about Christopher Sabella, and who is a comic book writer. And I went ahead and, I was talking to someone about them. They recommended that I get Dead Letters. So anyways, this one is by Chris Visions and Christopher Sabella, who also did the book Test, which I really enjoyed. So Dead Letters looked pretty interesting. And then not only was this next one was recommended by Mike, but this one was also recommended by Mike as well as Mars, and that is Heartthrob. Whenever I actually got a video from Mars with a whole bunch of stuff that she recommended, and this was on it. I saw volume 2. This is just volume 1, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to like this one. And hopefully get volume 2. This one I put on the top of my pile to go ahead and read. So I started reading this, and it's like this woman gets a heart transplant, and apparently she gets the powers, or kind of gets the life of the person that she got the donation from. So kind of weird. I like it so far. So I'll probably, I think that they have volume 2 ready. So I'll go ahead and read that. So Dead Letters by Sabella and Visions, and this one by Sabella, Robert Wilson IV. Okay, next on my list, I actually added this one to my list before the recent casting. I can't remember the woman's name, but she's going to be playing She-Hulk, and this is, so anyways, I got She-Hulk by Mariko Tamaki. I'm really excited to read this one. I have one other She-Hulk book on a different run, and I wanted to read this one too. So I'm going to go ahead and hopefully get into this one before the show. But it was just casted. So I don't know how far into production it'll be. So obviously I have some time to read this before any show or movie or whatever comes out. Alrighty. The next one is Extremity. I did get volume 2. I already have volume 1, but I haven't read this one yet. But I was really digging Daniel Warren Johnson, his artwork on Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I really enjoyed that. My local comic book shop, they actually recommended Murder Falcon. And so I have volume 1 somewhere up here that I haven't read, so I figured I might as well go ahead and get volume 2, because I'll probably go ahead and read it. Let me go ahead and bring okay. Next one on my list. So Kim, Tatiana Maslany is playing She-Hulk. Thank you so much. Someone actually recommended that I watch Orphan Black, and that's a show that came out not a really long time ago, but several years ago. And whenever those shows happen, I'm like, should I go ahead and watch it. Sometimes they're a little bit like too dated for me. Like when I think like Buffy and Charmed, like I know that I would like the premise of those shows, but since they were done so a while ago, I don't know whether I can get into them or not. I literally started watching Orphan Black this morning, and I'm on maybe halfway through the second episode, and I already really enjoy it. I believe I was told there's 5 seasons, so I've got a little bit of watching material and reading material to do. Okay, next one on my list. I'm telling you, I got a lot of stuff from Powell, so buckle up, buttercups. I really hope you enjoy this video because there's a pretty big stack to go through. So I'm on, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th book, and it's Lady Killer by Joelle Jones and Michelle Madsen. I have the first volume, and I read the second volume. Someone else let me borrow it, but I didn't actually own the second volume. So while Powell's was doing this really big sale, I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and stock up on stuff because the shelves behind me aren't full enough yet. And I think that I would know that they're full enough when they break. That's when you know they're full. So they haven't broken just yet. So for anyone who hasn't read Lady Killer, it's basically about this 50s housewife who is an assassin, a mercenary, and she's living this like double life as a 50s housewife. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. So I'll probably go ahead and give the series another reread now that I have both volume 1 and volume 2. Okay. By the way, so Powell's, the sale that they were doing was like 15% off if you spend 30, 20% off if you spend 50, or 25% off if you spend $75 or more. And by the time I had added everything to the cart, I was over $70. So I definitely took advantage of the sale, and I may or may not have more books in my shopping cart. We'll see. Okay, so that's the deal that they were doing. I pretty much only buy used copies when I do buy these comics. So the original like price on these, like for instance, this one was $17.99. I think that on the website it was $9.95 used, so an additional 25% off, like more than half off for these comic books. It's such a good deal. The next one on my list is Twisted Romance. I had initially bought this saw this because I really enjoyed Katie Skelly's artwork. It's like a dark romance anthology. So it features a lot of different artists as well as writers, and it's more than just like a comic book. Like there's actual reading to do. So that looked kind of fun. I really like Katie Skelly's artwork as well. So that's what drew me to the cover. So yeah, Twisted Romance. I think we're on book 8. I'm a reader, not a mather, so I don't know. Alrighty. So the next one on my list is New Mutants, Return of Legion. I have not finished the Legion show. I know it was really good. I really enjoyed the first season. I have not watched the second season, but I wanted to get a little bit more into Legion and the wackiness of that character. I know that he's not nearly as wacky in the books as he is in the show. That show is just like an acid trip, and I absolutely love it. But anyways, this one has this really cool wraparound cover, so you can see my lights reflected in this, but whatever. You're not here for quality, I assume. So you can see my girl Magic on the cover, and it's actually like a wraparound cover, which is kind of cool. I wish I could just peel the skin off this book. Is that creepy? I wish I could peel the skin off this book and just like put it up as like a poster. Okay, there we go. So anyways, New Mutants, Return of Legion, book 9. Okay, so here we are with, I think book 10 is what I'm at. I actually, when I go to look for books, sometimes I let the books come to me, and I'm just like, I'm going to go ahead and type in an author or artist that I really enjoy into the search engine and just see what happens. So this is what happened with this one. Mariko Tamaki, who I really enjoyed. I was actually looking for their book, Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, but they didn't have an available used copy yet. So Anyways, I found this one, and I didn't realize that it was more of like a kid's book than anything, or at least it says on the front, it says something about like children's book, and I'm like, I didn't realize that, but, or at least young adult, but the artwork like looked pretty cool. On the inside, it's black and white. It looks a little bit more biographical than anything, so, you know, kissing. Alrighty, next one. This one was also highly recommended to me, and I think this is one of the ones Mars recommended to me. It reminded me of the book The Weatherman, at least the way that the production is done. It's published by Image, and it's The New World. Cop reality TV show. So like a dystopian, you know me, give me a dystopian romance any and all day. Because that's what we're living, right? A dystopian romance, is that what we'd call it? The artwork's pretty trippy in this one, and I love, oh, how's that? I was like, how much R-rated stuff was on there? But it's really just kissing, so that's not R-rated. But that's great. So, really looking to digging into this one. This one's probably going to be my next read after Heartthrob. So here's this one. Alrighty, another one that has the Tamaki. I don't know if they're sisters, actually. I should probably look this up, but since I went ahead and just like put in the search engine, Mariko Tamaki. This one's Summer. I keep seeing this one, and I don't really know too much about it. It sounds like a beach getaway trip, you know, teen romance. So that must have been the theme of this book haul unknowingly. But this one, Summer, looked really good. I forgot to peel the sticker off this one, but this one was $13.50 with an additional like 25% off. So what is that, like $11, something like that? And especially when it was originally $17.99. So, you know, almost half off there. So I'll be finally digging into this one, even though summer's over technically. Fall's here, but this one's summer. All right. How many books is that now? I wish that I had like a little counter that I could be like book 1, book 2, book 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 books so far. I got a couple more to go. Okay, this one is Frey, and it's done by Joss Whedon. My partner and I actually met the artist for this, I believe, at a convention a couple years ago. I don't know if it's in the Buffy universe or what, but it kind of I don't know why, but it reminds me of like Hellboy a little bit. So I'll be digging into this one. I think this one was like $4. I think it was $3.95. So not that 25% off $4 is a lot, because that's only going to be an additional $1 off, but you know, for $3 to get this, even if it's shitty, I've got toilet paper, right? Okay, right. Okay, just got a couple more. One of the other authors that I really enjoy and that I just ended up putting in the search engine when I was looking for these books is I typed in Jeff Lemire. I don't know. He's Canadian. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I should probably look that up. So, or if someone corrects me. So anyways, yesterday was Batman Day too. I haven't been enjoying a lot of stuff in the Batman universe recently. It's really not been one of my things. So Jeff Lemire writing a Teen Titans story kind of seemed up my alley. So I'm excited to get into this because I'm a really big fan of Jeff Lemire. It's also got the Dodsons, so Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson. They're on this book too. So I know it's going to be good. And plus that cover, it's so pretty. I love the colors of that. So anyways, I'm really excited to get into that like Gotham universe without having too much Bat in there. Okay. Another book that I got was Jeff Lemire, and I'm a really big fan of his. I love his Descender series. I love Black Hammer, Sweet Tooth. I've really enjoyed pretty much everything that Plutona, everything that I've read by him. And one of the books that I never finished, I got issue number 1, but never actually finished the series, and that's Trillium. So I saw this book in there, and I believe he actually does the artwork for this one too. It looks like that style. I'm sorry if when I open it up a little bit too far and I inadvertently give any spoilers, but this is on page 3. So this one's like a weird sci-fi story. This one will probably be one of the next ones that I read. Oh, okay. I really enjoy that. Like, I imagine he that Jeff Lemire does his work with either watercolor pencils or watercolors, and then pens over. So there's that one. Anything to do with sci-fi, and I think that Jeff Lemire really does a good job with sci-fi, so I'm really excited to read this one. Okay. Alrighty. Last one, but most certainly not least, is going to be another one of the artists that I really enjoy, is Emma Rios. And she actually, the reason why I love her artwork so much is because obviously I love Pretty Deadly with Kelly Sue DeConnick. And so I ended up buying the book ID. This one's a little bit of a smaller book, a smaller read, but I think I got this one for like $5 plus that 25% off. So her artwork in it, even though it's not colored the same way as Pretty Deadly, it's still really pretty. I absolutely love her artwork. So I'm excited to get into this one too. Dystopian body changing, I believe. So, wouldn't we all do that if we could? Alrighty. So that was pretty much it. The counter should say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books I ended up getting. I got them for a pretty good deal. I have a couple more in my cart, and who knows if this weekend I'll go ahead and buy more. But that was my little book haul from Powell's. So thank you all so much for watching. And I hope to do more of these. So if you liked this, please do the thing below and do the like and subscribe. I hope I don't say that too much, but please go like and subscribe, turn on notifications if you enjoyed it. And if you also enjoyed it, you can see me right now it's every Saturday at Comic Chop News doing Longbox Paradox. We also do a Dune book club where we can tell you all about the chapters we read this week of Dune, and we just started it. So if you want to catch up, read Dune, reread it, whatever, before the new movie comes out, come and watch us read Dune. That's it for today. Thank you all so much.